on the website when we get it.
Okay. So I set it to recording. So the biggest key of Facebook is, even if it's a stupid post, if it's a fantastic post, it doesn't matter. The key is consistency. When you post something on a regular basis, people come to expect, hey, this is where I can get it. If you start posting things that are relevant to the club, like here's our theme for this week, or here's the link for our club, things like that, then you start getting into consistency where people come there for information. They may even comment, they may share that page. When they start sharing, that's when you start building brand recognition. And I think that is Toastmasters' greatest enemy, is brand recognition. Because when you talk to somebody and you say, I'm a part of Toastmasters, like, what's that? That is really that's one of our biggest enemies. And some of them are like, okay, so you learn how to give a toast? I've had that question. Like, no, it's building leaders and building speakers and improving our communication skills. But if they've never even heard of it, then you start. One of the things I look for is, I always try to do recognition of a club at least once a week. Recognition of a member or a club at least once a week. Then I try to do also an informative piece at least once a week. But then I also, because Toastmasters is so much bigger than just our club, I try to also, I'll link in something from Toastmasters International. They do great postings on theirs. It's also, if you draw a blank for the day of what to post, you can share a post from that. It'll help you with that. District 43 is working to do more postings and a consistent posting on their Facebook page, which would give you a resource as well of something to share from that. And then I usually try to do something of upcoming. So I want people to realize this is how you find Toastmasters. This is what Toastmasters is, and create things that are, somebody might, hey, share this to their friend. Hey, check this out. You may want to come join me for this. So, and the biggest thing I have found is when you scroll Facebook, how do you scroll it? You typically go, if you do things with lots of words, it'll get scrolled past. It's just the way it is. I mean, because you know how when you look at Facebook, look at the things that catch your attention. A cool photo with 3 words of encouragement. Or a picture of somebody and you're like, ooh, who is that? So those are the things that catch people's attention. Otherwise, you're not going to get it. Now, once you are the admin on Facebook, and I'm actually going to share my screen here. Let me shrink this down. Facebook started, I want to say, about 8 months ago. They started a new way to manage your stuff. So let me share my screen. I'm just going to show. All right. You have to ignore, I have a whole lot of crazy up here. But Facebook started what they call their business suite. And at first I was like, I'm not going to the business suite. I just want to put a post up and schedule it. That's all I want to do, because that's all I had done. About a year ago, I inherited our church Facebook page. Not the master one, another one that we do for, and I made the mistake, and you'll understand this in Toastmasters. I made the comment, oh, I love this page you guys are building. Which meant, oh, that means you can do this for us. Okay. Toastmasters works kind of the same way. So, the biggest thing that we get on the Toastmaster pages are people asking, how do I visit a club? When do you meet and how do I visit a club? So I try each week to have a post about the clubs in the area, because I'm doing it on the division level. But I try to have a post about the clubs in the area, when we meet, how to meet with us. I typically will put a link. If I put a link, I will put it in a graphic that I put up versus putting the link directly right there in the post. It seems to, so that people actually have a little more effort to it. I'm trying to prevent trolls from coming into the meetings. So that's just my personal way of doing it. When you have somebody like Denise, though, she runs Zoom Master for some of our events, and there's not trolls coming. So, because if you do the waiting room, you'll be able to pick them up. All right. When I'm on Facebook, and I need to move this so that I can actually see my screen. All right. Right now, I mean, you've got all your regular stuff, but you'll see here on your pages, and I've got Toastmasters of NWA. So when I go to Toastmasters of NWA, and feel free to ask me any question and talk, ladies. So when we go here, I need to update the cover photo, but it's not my priority. No. Right now, I started about a month ago deciding that we needed to make sure we posted consistently. And so I make a post every single day. Now, when you get there, it'll tell you manage your page and Instagram with Business Suite. There's all sorts of places telling you go to Business Suite. And Business Suite I have discovered as your friend. When you scroll down your page, you can see the different engagements here. It's greatly up just because of consistency. So, now I've visited some of the clubs in our division and said, hey, you know, go to the Toastmasters of NWA page, and that way you guys can find out, you know, other clubs, you can find meetings, things like that. So when I go down, like this week we had club contests, stuff like that. I haven't done boosting. I haven't felt like I needed to. So, but you can see how, if I were to comment on this and say how much I like the post, I'm commenting on Toastmasters of NWA. I'm not commenting as myself. So if I want it to be personal, up here, you can then choose how you want to interact. And that's the big thing, because if you like your own post, which is fantastic, but it looks like, oh, I'm just liking my own post versus an individual liking it. And if you're trying to drive interest, you need to change to yourself.
Melissa, I have a quick question. Did
Yes.
you have to purchase the Facebook business access, or was it just free with the page?
It's just free with the page.
Okay. Thank you.
That's one of the reasons I was slow to go to it. I was like, no.
Yeah.
But finally I clicked the link. I was like, oh, okay. Never mind. Yeah.
Yep. I kind of felt the same way. I was like, ooh, do you have to pay for this? No, I'm sure you have to probably pay to do the boost possibly, but you know.
Well, they tell you, a lot of times they'll tell you they're going to give you a credit. Like
okay.
a credit to boost. However, you still have to enter your payment information, pay the $10, and they give you the 10 back.
Yeah.
So I have not chosen to do that.
Mm-hmm. Awesome.
No. So if I go to the Business Suite, which you can see it has, make sure you have a website listed. I need to put an email in. I don't have that in here, but a way for them to contact you. So you go to Business Suite. Now there's a link right here to Business Suite. But if you go over here on your page and you go to Publishing Tools, which is where all this used to be, and then they created Business Suite. I'm not sure completely why. Yeah, my computer's thinking about it. We're coming. There we go. But the minute I got here and tried to see my post, it kept giving me this great big box telling me try Business Suite. So I had to try Business Suite. I actually created a shortcut. I'm all about shortcuts on my bar. So I created a shortcut straight to Facebook Business Suite because everything I need to see comes here. So you don't even have to go to regular Facebook. You can just go to the Business Suite. And when I'm here, I can see the reach, and this reach is very subjective. It tells how many people it should have shown up in their feed up. But we went from about 12 to running in the 40s, so I'll take that. But this also lets you see, I keep having to move you guys around. This lets you see just your posts. These are published posts, and you can kind of see the different information about them. So it lets you know, hey, this post got a lot more attention, this one didn't. I do post at different times of the day. You don't have to. You can do it consistently. My church one is 6 a.m. every day. There's a new encouragement for that day that people can use and share and such. So any page that you're an admin for, you will have the Business Suite available, and you can switch between your pages at the top. If you are admin on more than one page, I do recommend paying close attention, or you will put a Toastmasters post on your church, or you will put your church on Toastmasters. So, lessons learned there as well. Good. So you can look at it by post, you can look at the feed, and you can look at the calendar. I like the calendar view. Now I have chosen for Toastmasters, I'm doing post Monday through Friday, and I give myself the weekends off. But you can post, you can schedule things, 60 days out. So you can create a calendar of items and already have them done, like maybe a Saturday afternoon, and build several posts. Have them out there ready to go. So if I look at the month view, I can see. Now, unlike other calendar products, you have to actually talk between the months. So January is when I started doing it some, and then February is where we started getting consistency. And I missed a day. I was on a plane and I didn't schedule. There we go. No. But perhaps you have a post, like Toastmasters International has a great post about why would you do Toastmasters? And so I can take that post, which is this one. When you click on it, it's going to tell you who it reached. It's going to tell you that. So when you're at a loss for content, use Toastmasters International. They're building it, so use it. But the nice part is I can take this post and I can duplicate the post. When I duplicate it, it'll ask me when I want to schedule it. And so instead of publish, I just hit schedule post, and then you put in when you want it. So, and if I wanted it, I probably should do this one like, I don't want March 31st. That's just a personal thing because I've got a different plan for that day. So, but I can say April 8th, and I want it, maybe at 6:30 in the evening, because that's when people get home, they start scrolling, they finish eating dinner. Let's say I've already got everything built. I've got my link in there. And then I've got my comments in there. So then I can just hit schedule post. Now you can type comments here or there. So this over here is just if you're going to do it with Instagram and Toastmasters. What it's doing is let's schedule you for both. I am not an Instagram guru of any type, and I don't use it enough to make it worth it for me to set us up an additional Instagram account. Plus, at some point, if I want to pass this roll on, I don't want to tell them, oh, there's 5 different social media platforms that you need to keep up at all times. So, I'm not looking for heart attacks. So, But if I switch back to month view and go to April, you can see that's ready there. So it makes it very simple to start filling in the calendar, filling in posts, and be ready to go with them. And there's, it's nice getting up in the morning and knowing, oh, okay, I'm good here because I've already got all my posts done. So, I know that next week I'm going out of town for several days. So over this weekend, I'm going to get all that done so that it moves even when I'm not here. There's posts coming even when I'm not here. Now, when you go over, just when you mouse over on this side is when it'll pop open the menu bar for you. Now, the other day, like HB, he's a longtime Toastmaster, he sent a message. So here's where messages show up. Now, it was not assigned to anyone. These are the people that are listening. But at the time, it wasn't assigned to anyone. But he asked for a contest. Now, when I told him the message, I signed it, thanks, Melissa. Because when he gets a message back, all he sees is Toastmasters of NWA has replied to him. He has no clue. So I can see here that Lou replied to him also, but he doesn't know it was Lou. All he knows is that he got a reply from Toastmasters of NWA. So, and then Lou sent me a message, and he doesn't know that we're having this conversation on the backside of it. It's still part of his message. Luckily, HB knows both of us, so he's fine. But if you have somebody visiting and they want to know about it, then you want to try to keep a name. So I told Lou on a side note, I just texted her and said, hey, by the way, Lou, when you reply on here, all they see is Toastmasters of NWA. They don't see your name. And she was like, oh, I'm sorry. No. But like this woman, Gina asked, I have an interest in joining them. So, and asked for suggestions. And I replied, but when I replied at the end of it, I signed it my name. That way she's able to say, oh, you're Melissa, you told me about this. The intent is just to give them a contact person and not just leave it out there, a blank face replying to them. That's what I'm trying to take it away from. So this is where you can see your comments. And you can also see them in Messenger, and you can also, this Facebook Business Suite just keeps it all together for you. So it makes it very clean. So I have not, I'll be honest, played with all the settings. My goal is simply to build our presence and also to be a consistent and reliable resource for our division. That they know, oh, I can go find it on Facebook. There's a contest this Saturday. I know I can go find it there. That's what I'm looking for. And then the promote district events, so people start realizing that Toastmasters is bigger than just one little place. So, now, for my posts, I use Canva. Are you guys familiar with Canva?
Yes, I am.
And I just use
Yes, I am.
I just use the free version of Canva as well. But every single time I'm in a meeting, I do a screenshot. And then I'm able to build post from it. And so, like, there's my screenshot. Then I, trimmed it down, dropped it on this slide in Canva. And then I did it, I zoomed in, just did a shot, cropped it out. And that way I have quick, easy ways to recognize members when they won, perhaps they won table topics at the meeting. And you can do a screenshot, and you can do confetti, or as creative as you want to be. Or if you visit another club, share a shot of that and what that looked like. So I encourage lots of those. My post tomorrow, or my scheduled ones here, is Angela Belford. She's not going to appreciate the screenshot I got of her. But I know her, so we're good. So, so when she finds out I got one with her mouth wide open.
One thing, just kind of an aside, we've created a Talk of the Town. I know Toastmasters International, they have so many brand standard like templates that you can just pull from. There's actually, because of COVID, they've created a digital PowerPoint ribbon award. So we've actually altered that to have like hopefully soon to be a picture of their professional headshot, but their name and the day and the speech. So that's been a really fun thing that we've shared internally, but definitely something that I would love to share similar to this to kind of congratulate them on the Facebook page.
Absolutely, because then if you're like, hey, I saw you on the Facebook page, you should. Then if they share it, you begin that brand recognition.
Yeah.
And you start building it further and further and further.
Yeah.
So, all right. I wanted to take just a moment to stop share for a moment, and I am going to.
I do have a random question. I noticed that you had multiple kind of administrators on the Facebook page. Is that something that the business opportunity has?
So and I even visited with Carrie on this. We always recommend at least 3 people as admins on a page.
Yeah.
And in your case, like when somebody's gone,
yeah,
then you can't access your Facebook page.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
awesome. That's a good idea. Yeah.
No.
And is that something that like whenever you're creating, because I noticed that you had an opportunity to have a draft post. Is that something that as an administrator, someone else can kind of log in and look at that draft, the same draft?
Yeah.
Okay. That's great.
That's very, very, very helpful.
Yeah.
Regards.
I always love a good proofreading opportunity. So any chance I can to not have to email it, download it, and email it to them, that would be great.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I also, but when you do have people of admin, make sure all of them know, like when they reply to messages, to include a name. Make sure they're on the same page with that. I didn't realize it wasn't known. And for that reason, we're working on that. If you're, especially on your phone, if you've been logged into your page, be real careful then when you're liking and hearting other posts, because you will be doing it as, in my case, Toastmasters of NWA is liking some of my friends' posts. So, and then I'm like, oh, and then you go back and undo those items. Although it's a great way for brand recognition to grow, I guess, when they're like, what's this? But you could use it as that. I'm checking my notes real quick here.
Well, just out of interest, I think, I'm not sure what the state of our Facebook page is with the Help Masters. I think someone had mentioned we used to have one. I'm not sure what happened, but it's there, but it's not really active right now. So I'm wondering, is there like a special role for the people who take the Facebook page on? Is it like is it the secretary, or is it the Zoom master, or is it just anyone who is interested in helping out with the Facebook?
And the VPPR is looking to promote the club.
Okay.
That's the role.
Okay.
However, everybody's very busy.
Okay.
And I recommend for that reason, perhaps you have somebody that they sit on Facebook all day long.
Right.
So you're like,
yeah.
How about you help me out with this?
Yeah. Okay.
And
okay. Okay. Then another question I have is, as I said, I'm now working on the breast care Facebook page for the health department. So there's strict rules about what you can post and what you can't post. So I wonder if it's the same for Toastmasters, or do you just?
I know that there is brand standards, and I know that Toastmasters has exactly what they want.
Okay.
I have not been using always the Toastmasters logo.
Okay.
But for that, I'm more interested in people.
Right.
And people want to see people, and so that's
Yeah.
where I've stayed in
Okay.
an attempt. Denise may have more thoughts on brand recognition or branding. Whoops, let me unmute you.
You'd think I would know by now to do that. So Toastmasters is really trying to make a big effort on getting our branding back under control, because for years they've just kind of let clubs do what they wanted and branding got way out of hand. You'd see some really cute things. However, you know, when you see the Nike symbol, you know what it means. When you see the McDonald's arches, you know what it means. When you see the Toastmasters symbol, do you really know what it means, right? It's been diluted too much. So when you do use the logo specifically, you know, use it correctly, read the brand manual, see what they have, use the brand colors. That's always a good thing too. We've got the blues and the maroons and, you know, a few yellows and grays. So use those because we want to make sure that we are branding properly. So, you know, I've seen things that have gone out that are pink. That's not one of our colors, right? So just, you know, be mindful of that we want to spread the same message. And so branding is how we do that and doing it properly. Yeah. So like the ones I've been out on the Facebook that Melissa's been doing, you know, I wouldn't say they're branded, but I wouldn't say that they're not branded either, right? So they're not like way out there that people will be like, what is that? So just use the logo appropriately.
Thank you.
And I came across a YouTube video very early on in my beginning of VPPR, and it was from Toastmasters International, just basics on kind of what to expect, what you should post. And I think it was mainly trying to stick to the club and Toastmasters information, making sure you don't you know, publish any posts that are related to any sort of religious focus or you know, political focus. So kind of taking that away and just really honing in on the information that is shared within Toastmasters and just club news or club efforts or recognition within the district. So I think as far as like creating content, sticking to those spectrums has been approved by the international.
Exactly. And that's why you'll see all of the ones that we've done.
Yeah, and if you do have something that you want to run by Toastmasters International, you can send it to them and they'll approve it. Give them plenty of time. They're really swamped. But also when you get something approved, if you can make it to where it's editable, you can always share it with other markets or other clubs also, right? So, you know, I always say, you know, share what you can with others and make it reproducible.
There was a graphic that Toastmasters used for online meeting help. You know, and I believe that's an untapped focal point of Toastmasters, is the fact that you know, with Zoom, we're teaching people a whole new set of skills. It's not just communication anymore in front of a person or how to speak on an elevator. Right now, you may not even be allowed on the elevator with a person. So, but with Zoom, and so I've tried to find posts that add value to people and that recognize people. So if they're too informative at all times, people won't come back. Especially if they're working full time and then they're like, I don't need more teaching. But it's cool to say, hey, there's my friend Taylor, or there's my friend Toyin, and check her out. Look what she did today. Man, she finished a speech, or, you know, and look at all the other people in the room, or things like that. So make it relatable to people. That's the biggest thing. And start, you know, when you joined Toastmasters, you became aware of all your your so's, and now you can't watch a single speech on TV without looking at it and being like, please send them to Toastmasters. Please send them to Toastmasters. So take that same approach for the next few. As you're scrolling through Facebook, what things do you stop on? What things catch your eye? What things are you willing to look at? And what things you're like, yeah. And then, yeah. And so the things that you stop on, ask yourself, why do you stop on them? You know, was it the color? Was it the words? Was it because it was motivational? Was it because it was funny? What made you stop on them? And those are the types of things to add to your own post. Because if you're stopping on them, your friends, because we flocked like people together, are probably also going to stop on this type of post. So hopefully that makes a lot of sense. Does that help you, ladies?
Very much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Are there any other questions or thoughts that you guys have? No. Use the scheduling feature. It makes your life very simple.
Yeah.
You'll think of something like, oh, I need to share this on Facebook and this too. And you're like, oh, and just go in and schedule and have it done.
Yeah.
And that makes your life a lot simpler.
Yeah, I want to play around with that and learn more about that. I'm not a big social media person, but for Toastmasters, I need to learn how to do that. And I think, I think Melissa talked about this a little bit earlier, is borrow from other people, right? You don't have to come up with something creative every day and, borrow something. So at the Walmart home office, we have Workplace, which is Facebook. And so I go out there and I still post from Toastmasters of NWA all the time. And I actually just did 2 of them just tonight. Just borrow and because it's also sending the same consistent message when you're just spreading the same post around.
Yeah.
I need to figure out if I don't think I can share because it's not through Facebook. So like I can't share from one to the other, so you don't get credit for me sharing it. Like the site doesn't get the credit, right? I'm just copying the link.
But if you're on, I'm gonna do a quick thing here, real quick. Let me share this. Because when you are on Facebook, cannot see my thing because everything's in my way. All right, so if I'm on Facebook, you can share to any of your pages if you are the admin. So when you hit the, see how it has my picture on there? That's when you can choose how you want to interact. Do I want to interact with which of these pages? So
Thank
that's
you.
your one thing. That's how you can make sure that you like or comment on things as yourself and not as a thing. But then when you do share, you have the options. And so when you want more options, that's when you can share to a page. And I can choose to share it to Toastmasters of NWA. And when you do, then it'll pop up just like you're sharing anything else. So you can share things over to your club page, which is a great way to add more content to your page. So.
Okay, that's good to know. Thank you. I need to get out there more often, apparently.
I'm not a social media advocate. I actually prefer to turn off the phone and walk away and my grandkids and my family. However, I like social media as a tool to stay in touch with my family.
That's right.
And when I'm looking for, hey, what's going on with Toastmasters right now, I can just pull it up and go. Because it's easily searchable rather than finding a website or something like that to give me the information I need. So.
Melissa, have you noticed that you've received some guests joining your meeting because of the Facebook? Them finding you through Facebook?
I've seen some guests at meetings. I
Yeah.
have not seen where they come from Facebook yet.
Got it. Okay.
So, but I'm only about 5
Yeah.
weeks into consistency.
Yeah. Absolutely.
But when I showed Blue that she could schedule posts, she got super excited. So,
Yeah, because she schedules them at the district level. So yeah, she does good.
Absolutely.
all right. Any other questions, ladies?
I think I'm good. This has been super helpful, Melissa. Thank you so much.
Good.
Thank you. Thank you so much. This has been really great on
Yeah.
2 levels for me, also for work. So thank you.
One of the things you can look for in a like once a week or once a month post is a link to the program that, you know, like that Denise is building, and it's becoming bigger and bigger, and that is the dedicated to members.
Okay.
Because it is a mentorship website, and so presidents can come and learn how to be a club president. You get a lot of new people in, and for that reason, I try to link there usually once every 2 weeks. Right now we're in contest season, so most of the posts are about contests. But I try to link that so that people have a resource to quickly go to.
Yeah, and if you have any suggestions, if there's any topics that you want to know about, let us know. We've got a dedicated to members at gmail.com email address. Send us some information. The whole purpose is just to get our members information they need. So if you need something, let me know, because I may not know you need it. And share that with your club members. If they need help getting started in Pathways, we have a session almost every week to help people get started in Pathways. And then we're going to start doing more of these. Most of our sessions are recurring, so they're at least once a month, but we're going to start doing more of these one-off sessions too. I'm going to do one here. I haven't set the date yet, but probably within the next month, I'm going to talk about a new program we started at Walmart and how it can really help boost membership and retain membership. We signed up 18 members back in December, and we kept 16 of them this next time around. So yeah, so I don't want to get into a whole lot of details, but yeah, I'll post that out there when I get it ready.
Oh yeah, that'd be awesome.
Yeah,
thank you.
All right, I'm gonna stop our recording.